Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is a spring-inspired thrift flip video. These are quick and easy projects to completely transform any item that you have. These are recent estate sale items that I grabbed, and so if you are ready, let's get started on these projects. For our first item, I grabbed this like lemon topiary, if you want to call it that. I grabbed this at an estate sale over the weekend for a couple dollars, and this is going to be so simple because all that I really wanted to do with this piece was to remove the greenery to update it. The greenery looked really fake and I just wasn't a fan. And then I wanted to update the color of the pot that it was in. So this color is Weeping Willow. And if you watched my video last week, this was the green color that I was trying to use for that furniture piece that I did. So I really wanted to see what this color looked like on an item, and this is such a beautiful color. I will definitely be using this at some point on probably a smaller piece of furniture, but I really love this color. It is a very nice, soft, neutral color. So this is that color. If anyone watched last week's video, if you did not, I will definitely link it for you if you are interested. So I did one coat. That was all that it needed. And then once it dried, I am applying clear wax to seal it. And the reason why I am doing clear wax instead of like a polyacrylic or any other type of sealer is because I'm going to be doing white wax on top of this just to kind of soften it just a little bit. And this pot also does have just a little bit of texture to it. You can't really see it unless you're up close, but I was thinking that the white wax could kind of go into the crevices of this pot. So I'm just doing a light coat. I don't want a lot of the white wax. And because I did the clear wax first, the white wax will apply easier, and if I need to remove more of the white wax, it'll be easier to take off. And if I decide that I need to take off even more, I can always apply some more of the clear wax on top of it to kind of buff it out. So that is all that I'm doing with this project. This to me completely transformed it, and I really hope you guys like this one. And what do you think of this Weeping Willow color? For this project, we are going to be giving this rolling pin a makeover. To me, this kind of screams more of like a craft rolling pin than an actual rolling pin that is used for food. I could be wrong. It looked like that to me, and it was very unfinished. There was some areas that needed to be sanded around the handles, so that's kind of why I thought it was more like a craft rolling pin than another type of rolling pin. So what I am doing is I'm going to paint the two handles with this English ivy green. It is a little bit of a darker green, but to me it screams spring, and I don't normally paint with color, like a lot of colors, so I'm definitely kind of branching out. I mean, I know greens are considered more of a neutral color, but I do tend to stick with the whites and the blacks and the grays, and so I'm kind of branching out a little bit, and I'm really, really loving these two green colors so far. So once the handles are dry, I am going to apply antique wax to the middle portion of this rolling pin. You could stain it. You could use Dark and Decrepit by DIY. If you don't have any of these, you can always just water down some brown paint to get like a faux stain to get the color that you are looking for. So there are a lot of options if you want to do a stain or a faux stain on this. I like doing the antique wax because it dries really fast, and I really love the brown color of this antique wax over some other stains and paints and stuff like that. So Once everything dried, I did take it outside and I used my detail sander to give it a good sand. Parts of it sanded off a little bit more than I wanted, but that's okay. It's rustic. So I am going to be using this IOD stamp, and I'm just going to roll the rolling pin across it. I haven't done this before, so I'm just going to give it a shot. I'm going to go very slow. I'm going to line it up, and then I'm going to slowly roll it and pay attention to where it starts so that it won't overlap when it ends. And I think I did a pretty good job. I was pretty happy with it. There are a couple like dots that you can see. I'll show you right here. I also really love the script on here. Those are the dots that you can see at the bottom, but that's okay. I'm fine with it. So once that dried, I did, instead of using like a polyacrylic or another sealer, I am just using that same antique wax that I used on the middle part of the rolling pin. I am using that to seal in the handles because it just enhanced that green, and it wasn't going to make it shiny. I didn't really want to use a polyacrylic or anything because it would make it too shiny. So I went with that as the sealer. I really like this one. I don't do a lot of rolling pins, so you'll have to let me know what you guys think. All right, I want to take a couple minutes here because I had a lot of people in the comments ask from last week's video. This is the buffet from last week's video, and I wanted to share the finished product with everyone. I did finish it, throughout this week. This is what it looked like beforehand. If you did not see last week's video, I will link it for you if you are interested. But this is the finished piece. Like I said, a lot of people had commented asking to see what it would look like when it was done. So this is it. I'm really sorry about the horrible lighting. It was a really, really gloomy morning when I was getting ready to bring this down to my booth. So that's why the lighting is not very good. But I have a couple clips here to show what it looks like staged in my booth, and then we're going to get back to the final thriftlet. For our final project, we're going to be giving these bookends a makeover, and we're going to be using this new color, Antebellum Blue. It is so beautiful. I did share it in my community tab. I think this was a couple days ago, and I love this color. I do not really use blue, and I'm so in love with this color. I think it's beautiful. But anyways, I'm going to be giving both of these bookends 2 coats of this Antebellum Blue, and I'm going to let it thoroughly dry. I don't normally gravitate towards this style, like the fleur de lis or this style. I just don't normally gravitate towards it, but I was at an estate sale actually where I picked up the lemons from the first project, and it just kind of screamed, hey, give me a makeover, let's see what happens with this. And they were only a couple bucks, so I was like, all right, I'm going to give this a shot. So I'm kind of going a little bit outside of my wheelhouse when it comes to the style of an item, but I'm going to bring it down to my booth and see if anybody else likes it. So like I said, I'm giving this 2 coats. This did take a while because of all the nooks and crannies with all of the detail all around the sides, and even on like the fleur de lis image. I'm pretty sure it's fleur de lis, right? Is that right? I hope I'm right when I'm saying this, but this is after 2 coats, and look at this color. I think it's so pretty. So this is before it was sealed. I did take them outside after this, and I did 2 good coats of just a clear matte, Rust-Oleum clear matte, let it sit, and then I brought them inside. And I'm going to be using this iced espresso kind of like glaze to put on top of all of the detail. So instead of distressing it back, I'm going to be adding this instead, because at first I was going to distress it, and then I realized I think I would like this color better to show through than if I were to distress it, even though they're very similar. I know that these colors look very similar to what it was before, but I'm just rubbing my finger along all of the raised detail so that it's like a bronzy gold. It looks really pretty. I know it is probably hard to see on the camera here, but hopefully in this clip right here, you can see how much the like espresso bronze gold does enhance these bookends. I was pleasantly surprised. I wasn't sure how these were going to turn out, but definitely let me know in the comments. And as always, I really hope that you enjoyed this video. And I know that it was a quick thrift flip video and it was spring. It's January. I understand Christmas is out of my booth and I need to start focusing ahead and start planning. So I do hope you guys enjoyed, and let me know your favorite in the comments. And if you did like this video, please give it a thumbs up and please consider subscribing. I will see you all in my next video, which will be the beginning of my bedroom makeover. I'm so excited. Okay, bye guys.